Sheriff Todd Baxter. My name is Chris Rochester. I've never committed a crime. When you hear the word escape, what goes through your mind? What goes through the big brain on Todd when you hear that word escape? Because when I hear the word escape, I'll have certain thoughts, and one thought from time to time reminds me of a Wikipedia entry. And if you're a certain age, my age, this is what it'll remind you of. Escape Journey album. Escape, stylized as E5C4P3 on the album cover, is the seventh studio album by American rock band Journey, released in 1981. It topped the American Billboard 200 chart and features 4-hit Billboard Hot 100 singles: Don't Stop Believin', Who's Crying Now, Still They Ride, Open Arms, plus rock radio staple songs Stone in Love. It was certified 9-time platinum by the RIAA and sold over 12 million copies worldwide, making it the band's most successful studio album and its second most successful album overall, behind Greatest Hits. That's what I think of when I hear Escape, the legendary 40-year-old Journey album. Came out when I was still in high school, and everybody had it. If you did not have Escape by Journey, you were a certified nerd. If you didn't know every word to Stone in Love, which is not the most famous song on the end, and I didn't even want anything to do with you. A little exaggeration there. Wow. So, when I think of Escape, I think about Who's Crying Now, which is on Escape. Because when you hear the word escape, you're not thinking about Steve Perry and Neil Schon. You're not thinking about any Journey members. You're thinking about his 19-year-old Aliyah Bard and how you allowed her to escape from your custody. Pregnant inmate back in custody after escape at Strong Memorial Hospital, April 30th, 2018. This is your bald head allowing this criminal mastermind, 19-year-old Aliyah Bard, to escape. I'm trying not to laugh. Pregnant inmate who escaped from a Monroe County Sheriff's deputy in Strong Memorial Hospital back in custody. A 3-hour chase began when 19-year-old Rochester resident Aliyah Bard escaped from, quote, soft restraint, end quote, a Strong Memorial maternity ward. She was taken back into custody right outside of the hospital parking garage after Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter, as a member of the Rochester Public Safety deputy, spotted her. A short foot chase took place before she was finally stopped after a brief struggle just outside. Burden, who's 8 months pregnant, is now back at Strong Hospital under enhanced guard for medical evaluation. The sheriff's office says she will face new charges because of escape. She initially was brought to Strong after complaining of stomach pain. This right here is your re-election defeat. Should never allow anyone to escape. If this is a 40-year-old male with a history of intelligent criminal behavior, perhaps you can at least make an excuse as to why he escaped. This is a 19-year-old female, 2 years removed from high school. A 3-hour chase. 3 hours. Who was chasing her? Because I'm going to show that photograph. What are the names of the individuals who allowed Aliyah Bard to escape? This is where there's no accountability for you. And this is why you are corrupt to your bone marrow. Every inch of you, from your bald head to your big toe, is corrupt. What are their names? Escaped to a parking garage where there are innocent citizens, perhaps even children. 3-hour chase began when 19-year-old Rochester resident Aliyah Bard escaped from soft restraint in Strong Memorial maternity ward on Monday. What does soft restraint mean? What does that mean? Was she alone, handcuffed somewhere? Does soft restraint mean handcuffs? This is, again, your 1984, where your disgusting public relations hacks are using this language like soft restraint. What the hell does that mean? Did you say soft restraint, or did one of your public employees? Again, when I contact the United States Department of Justice, DOCS in Albany, which has regulatory authority over you, how did you come up with soft restraint? Did you get together in your office and you're thinking we need to come up with something in soft restraint? Soft restraint? Is it hard restraint? This is a lie is what this is. This is your PR. This is your talking points. This is the big corrupt brain on Todd trying to figure something out. Soft restraint? What does it mean? You'll have to explain this when you run for re-election. because I'm going to come to your events relentlessly with this and the 500 other things that I'm going to use upon you to remove you from office, either before your term ends or on election day. She was taken back into custody right outside the hospital's parking garage after Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter says a member of the University of Rochester Public Safety deputy spotted her. So she escaped from the Monroe County Sheriff Office employees, and the Monroe County Sheriff Office employees did not bring her into custody. The University of Rochester Public Safety deputy spotted her. So I'll guess that's a private security guard, and they do admirable work on campuses throughout the state of New York. To see them in Stony Brook and Albany, where when I was an undergraduate and graduate. And that's the same function as a police officer. So he did a good job in bringing her back into custody. But the University of Rochester Public Safety deputy spotted her. And he spotted her because of what she looked like. And I'm going to show that momentarily. He knew right away something's not right here. How did she escape given what she was wearing? If she escapes and she's wearing the clothes that a civilian wears on April 30th, she could have a t-shirt and shorts if it's warm weather on April 30th, a light jacket and jeans, and she can escape. She didn't escape in any of such clothing. University of Rochester Public, Dave spotted her. So there's this University of Rochester Public Safety employee, and he sees her, and he knows right away something's not right with that because of what she looked like. A short foot chase took place before she was finally stopped after a brief struggle. Brief struggle, what's that mean? Were your employees involved in a brief struggle? Is brief struggle violence? Was there violence with Aliyah Burton? You won't admit that. You won't describe that. You just want it to go away. If someone asks Aliyah Burton, what does this brief struggle mean? Did they put their hands on you? Was there any violence? Perhaps she was resisting. She had to be put down. So Burton, who's 8 months pregnant, now is back at Strong Hospital under a hand scarf for medical evaluation. The sheriff's office says she will face new charges because of escape. She initially was brought to Strong after complaining of stomach pains. Burton had been arrested on Sunday in Penfield, charged with shoplifting as well as probation violations. About 80 Rochester police troopers, deputies, and securities took place. 80. Wow. That is astounding that 80 individuals were called into service as law enforcement officials to pursue Aliyah Burton that you allowed to escape. Here they are right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm guessing these are your employees. I'm looking at the uniform. It's a black and white photograph, but they look like your employees. What's the name of the employee at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office that allowed Aliyah Burton to escape? Is he here? Are these your employees? What's his name? Or was it multiple individuals? It's where, again, there's no accountability for you. You will refuse to answer, even if the United States Department of Justice and the Office of Andrew Cuomo asked you. You would still refuse. Because you know that to say anything is a political liability for you. You will have to be forced to account for how you allowed her to escape. Because I'm going to do that to you. I'm going to force you to account for this. Because I'm going to contact every bureaucracy, every regulatory authority, every official that can demand answers for you about how you allowed her to escape. This includes the United States Department of Justice. How do you possibly allow this to happen? What was the discipline for your public employees? How did you learn about this? Were you in your office? Did you receive a phone call? What's the name of the individual that came to you and told her she escapes? Because you said, quote, she struggled yesterday when we apprehended her. She led us on a little chase yesterday. You know that idea that she's 19 years old, she's pregnant, she's not making the right decisions, obviously. It's a 3-hour chase. And you say she led us on a little chase again? You cannot be honest with the facts because in your heart and soul, you are a liar. And to call this, that took 3 hours, a little chase, is again certification of why you're alive. I'm calling you a liar for 18 months, given what you're doing to me. You lied about putting a camera on that building at 2025 Penfield Road, and you're lying about Aliyah Burton, a little trace. 3 hours, you bald-headed stooge. 3 hours, you disgusting criminal hack, is not a little chase. You know that idea that she's 19 years old. Like, I have a passion for jails, Democrat and Chronicle story. I read your quotes about your incoherence because I'm just astounding at the way you communicate, the incoherence that you achieve is confounding to me as to how you could be elected to anything, especially sheriff. So I took that I have a passion for jails, and I ridiculed and mocked you and everything you said because you're incoherent. And again here, you know that idea that she's 19 years old? What does that mean? You know that idea that she's 19 years old. Do you know how to think before you speak? Do you understand that words have meaning? Words have a definition, and you need to be precise in your language, in the way you communicate. You know that idea that she's 19 years old? It means nothing. It's total incoherence. She's pregnant. We know that already. She's not making the right decisions, obviously. You're not making the right decisions because you allowed her to escape. And what are their names? The process of figuring out pardon me. I'll begin again. The process of figuring out what went wrong has begun. Okay? The process began in 2019. What happened? Sheriff Baxter says his office is starting an investigation into how the suspect managed to escape. Okay? How did the investigation go? You said there was an investigation. What happened? What are the names right here? What's the name of the taxpayer-subsidized Monroe County Sheriff Office employee that allowed 19-year-old Aliyah Burton to escape to a parking garage where innocent citizens are? So, and then after this story that came out on April 30th, then there's another one on WHM, June 4th. The Monroe County Sheriff and Jail Superintendent are being disciplined after an internal investigation regarding an inmate escaping custody back in April. The Monroe County Sheriff and Jail Superintendent are being disciplined. I don't know what you said here because there's no quote. Did you discipline yourself? How does that work? What a joke. I describe you over and over and over as a 1984, and this is a reason why. Spokesman for the Sheriff's Office said they cannot comment on the jail superintendent's discipline as a personnel matter. Why can't you comment on the jail superintendent's discipline? You said the sheriff was disciplined. Sheriff Baxter said he imposed a self-imposed discipline and donated the equivalent of a day's wage to the family of a fallen deputy. See this again? You're repulsive, disgusting. 1984, your Jonestown way of thinking, your fucked up way of thinking. She escapes, and you think, I have to score points with the community. So you're going to donate money on this catastrophe of the Aliyah Burton escaping, and then you're going to do it to the family of a fallen deputy. So it's a distraction over here. A fallen deputy who died in the line of duty or was killed in the line of duty. So here I am, Todd Baxter. I allowed Aliyah Burton to escape is what you're thinking. I need to take care of this catastrophe. I'll donate money to a fallen deputy. The distraction is over here. You are corrupt to your core. Everything about you is corrupt. That's a Machiavellian way of thinking where you allow her to escape, and then you're donating your money to I'm going to read that again. However, Sheriff Baxter said he imposed self-discipline and donated the equivalent of a day's wage to the family of fallen deputy. Oh, really? You donated a day's wage? I'm going to write a Freedom of Information law. If you donated, was that a check? I had to be a check. I'm going to write a Freedom of Information law. I want to see the check that you signed and how much it was. If you say that you donated the equivalent of a day's wage to the family of a fallen deputy, you could block out the name and how much was it? What was the amount of money? Are you lying here or not? Is that a lie? You, Todd Baxter, are the single most repulsive, disgusting, bankrupt human being I've ever encountered in my 55 years on Earth.